Spring football has been wrapped up for over a week now for the Georgia Bulldogs. I want to take a look at what I've kind of come up with as a rough offensive depth chart. I'll do defense later this week, but I've got offense down first. I went kind of 2 to 3 deep, even 4 deep at some of these positions. Full stories over at dogpost.com, and I'm going to take you through each position, what I think the depth chart is and how it stands at the moment. New running back, right? So that kind of throws a wrinkle into it, and I don't know where Josh McCray is going to fit into the mix, the running back from Illinois, excuse me. But I think that I have a good idea at where Georgia lands with most of these positions, and I do think that there is still competition. I don't want to waste any more time. Ryan Curley from Dawg Post talking about Georgia's offensive depth chart. We've got it on dogpost.com. Go take a look at the full story, but starting with when everyone wants to start with the quarterbacks. I went 3 deep with this one, and I can go ahead and I can talk about further than that. But Gunnar Stockton's QB1 at the moment. I think he'll be Georgia's starting quarterback in the fall. I think it was obvious at G-Day, which was the public scrimmage that some of you probably went to, and obviously I was there covering it. It was obvious that he was QB1. He got the most reps with the ones by far at that game. He, to me, looked the most comfortable. Now, I didn't think Ryan Puglisi looked bad, you can certainly see the talent with Ryan Puglisi, but Gunnar made quicker decisions and slightly better decisions. Neither of them had great completion percentage, right? Gunnar Stockton, 50% of G-Day. Puglisi, all in all on the day, was under 50%, 43% when he was working with the second team. But Gunnar QB1, Puglisi QB2, and at the moment, and that proved to be true at G-Day, the rumors were that former walk-on Coulter Ginn was QB3. And that was the projection from some people. That's what we ended up seeing at G-Day. He gets reps with the second team. He gets one drive with the second team at the beginning of the third quarter. He goes out there. He throws a big pass to London Humphreys. 2 plays later, he throws a touchdown to London Humphreys. He was 2 for 2 on that drive. He looked good and in command on what ended up being a very quick drive. He is QB3 to me at the moment. Georgia has 2 freshman quarterbacks that they brought in, and I think they'll be competing for that QB4 spot. One of them is Ryan Montgomery, kind of a low 4-star quarterback, and one is, I believe, is 3-star, but he's the local kid from Clark Central High School right down the road, Hezekiah Millender. Ryan Montgomery didn't play at G-Day, didn't play in these scrimmages. He was very, very, very limited at spring practice, coming off of an ACL, right? All he did really was throw to receivers, and not even in like a real capacity. It was kind of simple drills. So they'll compete for QB4 right now. It's Hezekiah Millender, but Ryan Montgomery, the higher-ranked prospect in this class. Moving on to running backs. Look, Nate Frazier is RB1. Now, I am not convinced that he is this workhorse running back. I'm not. I'm not saying that he's not talented enough. I think that there's plenty of talent with Nate Frazier, but I don't think that you're going to get that 1,000-yard season that people are predicting, like the last time they had it in 2019 with DeAndre Swift. I just don't think that's what's going to happen. Georgia wants to rotate those backs. Cash Jones is going to play his role. So when I have this depth chart up, I have Nate Frazier RB1, and then at RB2, I have Cash Jones / redshirt freshman Chauncey Bowens, or redshirt sophomore Roderick Robinson if he ends up getting healthy and getting back into the mix. I know he's someone that Georgia really likes at that spot and someone that they think can make an impact. But hey, what I saw on past couple Saturdays ago was that Chauncey Bowens looked really good. I think he will get touches in this backfield. Cash Jones will play that receiving role. I don't know where Josh McCray fits, from the senior from Illinois. Over 600 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns last year in his 4th year with the Illini. He's strong. He can break tackles. He can score touchdowns. I think he gets into this depth chart. Did they bring him in to be RB2 is my question, or did they just bring him in as depth? He's an older guy. I don't know why he would just go to Georgia if he didn't think he was going to get actual playing time when you only got a year of eligibility left, right? So I think you can argue McCray will have an opportunity to fight for that RB2 spot. Behind them, Bo Walker, the true freshman, he impressed at G-Day. He's impressed during spring practice. He might fly up the depth chart, but I kind of think he's in that RB3 range with Dwight Phillips Jr., kind of the reserve running backs. But to me, Nate Frazier still top of the leaderboard there at the running back position. Wide receivers. Here are your starters, and I'd be surprised if these aren't the starters. And I'm naming 4 guys in this starting group. Kobe Young and Noah Thomas as your kind of X guys on the outside. Zachariah Branch and Dylan Bell as your more versatile players, Y and a Z type player. Dylan Bell entering year 4 with Georgia. Kobe Young entering, I think, year 5 of college. Noah Thomas, year 4 or 5. Zachariah Branch Jr., older group. Between the 4 of them, that's a versatile group to work with as your main guys. Didn't see too much of Noah Thomas at G-Day. Saw the playmaking ability of Zachariah Branch. Saw that Dylan Bell was Gunnar Stockton's favorite target. And saw that Kobe Young is still that jump ball guy that they want to be in the end zone. Behind them, I think the 3 you've got, and this is not including the freshmen. I'm putting the freshmen in their own category. But behind them, you've got London Humphreys, who looked good at G-Day. He was one of the most impressive. So was Sokovie White, redshirt freshman, and so was Jeremy Bell, redshirt freshman. I think those are that's kind of your depth there at the wide receiver position behind Kobe, Zachariah, Dylan Bell, and Noah Thomas. Now, I think that the freshmen had good depth. One of them was a very high 4-star in Taylon Taylor. One was a 4-star in C.J. Wiley. Another one in Landon Roldan. Taylor, he is a guy that if he puts it together is going to be a very, very good wide receiver in college football. C.J. Wiley had an impressive one-handed catch. He's another big body, a guy that I think will kind of, after Kobe Young and Noah Thomas are gone, I think C.J. Wiley will step right into the role that they have. Landon Roldan, a speedster, right? So I think that they've got good depth at the wide receiver position behind what, to me, is an improved starting group from last year with Arian Smith, Dominic Lovett, and Dylan Bell. Now you get another year Dylan Bell, and you add better pieces around him. And look, they had Kobe Young kind of last year, but not for the long haul. Tight ends. This group's similar to last year because your starters are going to be the same in Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky. They're tight end 1 and 2. Delp heading into senior year, Lucky heading into junior year. I think that's a very, very good tight end duo. You'd be hard pressed to find better ones throughout the country, especially when they have experience like these 2 guys. Delp wants to right the wrongs from last year. Lawson Lucky wants to win a championship because he doesn't have a ring. Delp's the only tight end in this room that has a ring. At tight end 3, last year it was Benjamin Urasek. This year it's going to be Jaden Riddell, redshirt freshman. He is very, very athletic, folks, and you only saw a little bit of him at G-Day, but I think he's a guy that's going to get into the mix. I think he's going to get the ball a little bit. I think he'll be part of Georgia's offense. Not as much as Lucky and Delp, but Jaden Riddell, fast, right? And the one play you saw out of him at G-Day, I think it was a 15-ish yard gain. He gets it, I don't know, about 5 yards downfield, turns the corner and beats a defender for the first down. That's what you get out of Jaden Riddell. Behind them, there's Colton, the 2 freshmen that I want to talk about, Ethan Barbour and Elias Williams. This is a duo of tight ends that there's a lot of buzz about. I don't know that either of them crack real playing time, but at the very minimum, they are depth pieces behind the other 3 we talked about. Elias Williams, about 6'6", 6'7". Ethan Barbour, a little bit shorter, a little bit stockier. They're talented. They got a lot of targets at G-Day. It wasn't a great performance at G-Day, but they definitely had the targets. Offensive line. Now, to me, there are 3 locked-in starters on the offensive line. Center Drew Bobo, guard Micah Morris, tackle Ernest Green. I think those are locked in. I kind of think that Monroe Freeling is also locked in as a starting tackle. Seniority thing with that. Now, there's talent behind him. I'm going to talk about the talent behind him a little bit. And then I think Daniel Calhoun, to me, upcoming redshirt freshman, a guy who was competing for one of the starting jobs or one of the starting guard jobs, and there was buzz that he was leading in that regard. And he got some garbage time playing time a year ago, more so than some of the other redshirt freshmen. I think that he is the leader in the clubhouse to be the starting guard opposite of Micah Morris. Now, he got hurt, missed the second half of spring practice, missed G-Day, but still got some reps in. Behind them, tackle depth. You got Bo Hewley, redshirt sophomore. Nair Daniels, redshirt freshman. Jazar Jackson, sophomore. I think those guys are competing for spots. At the very minimum, they had depth. Nair Daniels played a lot with the first unit on G-Day. with Monroe Freeling being out with an injury. Guard depth, Michael Uni, who got a lot of first-team reps. I think he definitely can compete with Daniel Calhoun along with Malachi Tolliver, both redshirt freshmen. I think that Tolliver has gotten some reps at center as well, along with Cortez Smith, a true freshman. So I think those are a lot of guys. I didn't name Juan Gaston, a true freshman. I didn't name Jamal Merriweather. I didn't name Mason Short. I didn't name some of these other guys, but kind of looking at it 2-3 deep, there's plenty of depth. I think Drew Bobo, Micah Morris, Ernest Green, probably Monroe Freeling, and Daniel Calhoun would be my guess for your starting five on the offensive line. And that's kind of a picture of the depth chart. I'll get to defense later this week, but Georgia's offense, it looks a lot different than last year, doesn't it? No Carson Beck, new offensive line, new weapons, no Trevor Etienne. It's going to be a different group than it was a year ago. Thank you for watching.